Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts New Generation episode number 28. Today I got the second battle of round 2, which is beating two beasts of the same colour cover. Two red covered beasts, by the way. So with this I will be just introducing them, just saying who they killed, and then we'll just be describing the battlefield, then going straight to the stats. So with this, in one side, representing Series 22, The Lost Beasts of Mackay, Book number 2, Larnak, The Swarming Menace. In round 1, Larnak killed Kyron, the Jungle Master, and did so in a spectacular fashion of ganging up on him. That's all I'll say about that. And his opponent today is representing Series 26, The Four Masters, Book number 4, Kyron, Lord of Fire. This beast in round 1 killed Oko, the Sand Monster, making him basically go out with an explosion of glass fragments. So here we are, Larnak versus Kyron. This ought to be interesting. Now, I will say, even though it may seem a bit one-sided, factors that can change on who can win is that Larnak has the ability to reform and deform. Her exoskeleton is not completely fireproof, but is partially fireproof, so needs quite a lot of heat to burn it. And also, I'm gonna give the battlefield in her favour, and that's for the simple reason, to be honest, even if it was in the combat arena, Kyron would easily win. So what I'm going to do, I'm giving the battlefield in Larnak's favour, just so Larnak has a chance. Now, this may sound a bit unfair on Kyron, but come on, it's a fire beast versus a bug beast. I think I have to be a bit unfair on Kyron here. Okay, so with that, let's get to the stats.
Larnak, the Swarming Menace. This giant locust-like beast has 6 jointed legs and 2 pairs of wings. Her segmented body has a hard exoskeleton with arrow-like spines. Her feet secrete, an oozing substance that traps her victims like glue, before Larnak wraps them up into a cocoon until she is ready to devour them. Looking at her awesome stats, shell armor, sharp claws, screeching wing beats, wind summoning, reform/deformment, and flight, she's gonna prove quite a challenge in the tournament. So, that's all I've gotta say. Let's get to the battle! Deep within the fields of fire lies the Lord of Fire himself. Once a mystical winged horse taken over and fused with the evil wizard Zargon, now a fearsome centaur with wings and horns that'll terrify anyone. The strength of Kyron and the aggression of Zargon would make him one of the most fearsome beasts that Tom and Eleanor have ever faced. And let's go through now to his incredible stats, not to mention that iconic fire sword. Agile flight, shooting fire from the sword and summoning fire himself. Sadly, we've got not much DNA on him from the stats, as you can see, but later on down the road, there'll be more information yet to come. But yeah, personality, cunning, and ego, that might be a bit of a downfall, but I'm sure Kyron will prove an incredible battle in win the tournament.
3, 2, 1!
Larnak versus Kyron. Let's get into this. So, I didn't describe what the battlefield would be like. I just said it'll be in Larnak's favour. Okay, just to make it easy, the battlefield for this battle is the Elixir Wells. So basically, where Tom fought Larnak. Larnak has the home territory advantage here. So as Kyron is making his way through Mackay, trying to find his next victim, which could either be a giant locust or a eight-limbed monkey. Eight-limbed monkey. Choices were limited. He finds his way at the Elixir Wells and hears a loud buzzing sound, from where he assumes this must be his victim that he needs to kill. So what he does is he draws his fire sword and shoots a small jet up into the air, causing it to just go up into the air, and it just explodes into like a firework, causing fiery fragments to scatter all over the surrounding area, causing bits of the grass just to crisp up. And that's it. The buzzing sound gets louder and louder to where it's almost like a loud heartbeat thump, like boom, 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 boom. Kyron then sees what looks like an exo and a giant locust making its way towards him. Kyron readies his sword, swings it into an arc, shooting an arc of fire directly towards Larnak. Larnak deforms himself to where he's able to avoid it, and then instantly reforms himself to where he's charging up towards Kyron, and swoops up at the last minute, scratching Kyron's chest with his claws, deforming his claws in the process. Where the claws are now stuck in Kyron's chest wound, and they just go into Kyron. Kyron feels the pain, but after reading back from it, he gets back up and starts to feel a bit unsettled, sensing that there's something in him now. What Kyron does is that he slams his hooves on the ground, causing the cracks to appear all over the Elixir Wells, and no, not cracks, little molehills by the looks of it, just form up out of the ground, and then after the top of it seems like bubbling jets of fire just bursts out, catching Larnak out by surprise, and one of the jets of fire actually hits Larnak directly on the joints of one of his limbs here. Now, being partially fireproof, he gets out of the way and just trying to use the flap of his wings to cool down the fire, to cool himself down. And using his wings again, he summons up a strong gust of wind, blowing the fire jets towards Kyron. Kyron, however, being the Lord of Fire, swings his sword around in like a very fast circle fashion, creating a fire shield where it just deflects straight into the ground. And what Kyron does is that, as he's fireproof, maybe it will help defeat the locusts that are inside of him. So he drops the fire shield, gets drenched with the fire jets, and he was correct in assuming that the internal body temperature of him will burn up the locusts that are inside of him. He gets out of the way of the fire jet, causing Larnak to stop with the wind summoning, and Kyron instantly swings his sword around in multiple arcs in different directions, but in different ways going towards Larnak. Larnak's able to dodge all of it by deforming herself. Parts of her gets burnt up to a crisp almost immediately. Other parts just get very heated to where they go a bit slower, then gets hit by another arc. But most of Larnak does get out of the way of it, and then obviously very scattered, so then Kyron can't see a big swarm coming towards him. They all sneak up behind Kyron, form up, and making up one giant locust claw here. Pin grabs Kyron by the horseback area, not his human back, the horseback part. Digs her claws into the side of him, and then just letting some of herself go inside of him again, and just biting at the internal organs inside of him there. And then she lets go just as Kyron swings around, swinging his fire sword, pretty much incinerating some of the locusts there. Only for the swarm to now go for Kyron's legs, so where they just go at it pretty much like how... Hold on. Just going at it to where they break the legs, really. Kyron is now motionless. Can't move, immobile, let's say. Falls down to the ground and using his fist without the sword on it, he slams it on the ground, causing craters to appear all around him, spurting out lava, shooting up like the fire jets, but also just gradually making their way towards Kyron. Kyron not very worried, knowing he can survive a fair amount of knowing he would survive that. Knowing he would survive the lava anyway. He's trying to scare Larnak off so then he can get some time to try and reassemble himself, let's say. The inner parts, the parts of Larnak that are inside Kyron has already incinerated due to the internal body temperature. And bits of Larnak that are outside realises it's getting a bit too hot in here and flies away. But right before they do get away, though, Kyron summons up a giant fireball in his hand, chucks it into the air, and using his sword, bats it towards the swarm of Larnak, incinerating a good majority of it. With the amount of locusts that are left, with Larnak reforming, you can only make Larnak's head, so not a lot. They disassemble, knowing that they can't be a very big target, and what they do is flapping all their wings together, trying to blow the lava towards Kyron to try and drown him in it. It doesn't seem to be working, and what Kyron does is that he bangs his fists on the ground again, and more cracks starts appearing, with lava rising, and without Larnak noticing, so did a bunch of molehills behind Larnak, where lava jets start bursting out. Larnak turns around to see a bunch of fire jets shooting up, then coming down towards her, and as she's dodging them, parts of her get incinerated again. Kyron is swinging his sword in multiple arcs in all directions, just incinerating extra bits of Larnak, to the point where when the fire and smoke clears away, there's only one locust remaining. And what Kyron does is that he makes his way towards that locust, who is very badly injured, hence why it's not flying away. Kyron picks him up with his finger and thumb, and then crushes it like that. Just rubbing it in between his fingers, and then chucking it onto the ground to where he just tries to get out of all his might, and using his sword as a walking stick, walks away from the Elixir Wells, ready for the next battle. So with that, Larnak has lost, Kyron has won. So yes, I know I said that Larnak has the field advantage and a couple other things that will help her, but I never said that doesn't mean she would win. Kyron was obviously going to win. There was really no competition there. I made the battle as best I can, and I think I did a good job, actually. But yeah, Kyron has won. If you think Larnak should have won, please in the comments below why you think that. But my word is final. I know someone is going to be a bit upset that a red cover beast has beaten a green covered beast is still in the tournament. But not going to do anything about that just yet. Needs to wait till round 3 to see if Kyron gets defeated. But with that being said, that's all for that battle. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down the corner below. Justice for Grymon. Peace out.